today I'm feeling good because today I went out and I was able to pick up some flowers. I'm gonna make a nice bouquet here. And I picked up a couple things. First, I picked up some baby's breath, and they had these all separate. And I want to fill up this vase. And baby's breath is great for filling in around other flowers, and it just adds that extra touch. And it's really a common flower that you're used to seeing. And this is really beautiful here. You can see that. You can see what that looks like. And also some eucalyptus. Now this is a beautiful filler. It looks really great in a lot of vases. You see it used a lot. It's very common. Not only that, it's very fragrant. I love the smell of eucalyptus. It just adds something that is really wonderful to have in a bouquet of flowers. And I picked up several pieces of eucalyptus. I was at a floral shop and they had these individual sections. And so I said, let me get a little bit of baby's breath. Let me get some eucalyptus. But it's late spring and it's the right time of year, or it's late spring, early summer is the right time of year for peonies. And that's what I really wanted to get today. I said, I want a nice bouquet of peonies. So I picked up several. I'm gonna go through, clean these up a little bit, get them into this vase. Let's move this down just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so what we have here is, again, a little bit of baby's breath. Not a lot, I didn't pick up much. Eucalyptus, because I wanted this to primarily be a vase filled with peonies. This eucalyptus, it just smells so fragrant. It's just beautiful. But this time of year is the perfect time of year to get hold of peonies. Look at this one. Now, I decided to go with two separate colors. This one, of course, is going to be a white. And since I have a lot of peonies, I'm going to put them in first. Two different colors, white and pink, because I was thinking this is a perfect time to do a bouquet that is really blushy in color with the white and the pink. I don't think I need that. Let's take that off. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the outside of the vase. And, you know, I think that's actually still, that's going to be kind of tall. I want to take another, there we go. Yeah, about this height. That's good. So with your peony blooms, if they appear really tight buds like this, that's great. They'll go ahead and open up. If it looks really tight and it looks as though the petals have a bit of a sappy substance on the petal, then you can actually take this and dip it in a glass of warm water. That will loosen up the sap around that bloom. So if it's holding that tightly and it doesn't appear as though it's going to release and it's not releasing, dip it in warm water, 10, 15 seconds, that'll loosen up the sap, and you'll notice within an hour or two that the peony is then blooming out. Let's get this. Okay, get that camera there. So this is your first one here. I decided that pink and white will look really good together. And I don't need this. So I'm gonna clean this one up here. It has these extra coming off the sides. I just want to kind of clean it up, make it a single trunk. I may use some of these as filler, but I don't think I'll need to. I'll leave this on as a little bit of filler, but I think white and pink looks really good together. I'm gonna take this end off. You take that end off, you clip it, because that opens up the capillaries and allows that to stem to draw up moisture. If you don't clip that end off, it's a chance that you may not be able to get any moisture drawn up through there. So let's take that off. I don't need that. Again, just kind of taking off this, just kind of make them about the same height. This one's a little tall still. I'm gonna take that, make it a little shorter. There we go. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around pretty much in a circle, alternating between pink and white, because I don't want the colors to sit there. There we go. That's really nice. You see this one is already starting to open up, and these are gonna be very blousy peonies. Look at that one. This is the right time of year for them. You know, you can get them out of season, but right now, so I don't need all this stem. Again, I just want to clean that up a little bit on the bottom. Make sure I don't cut the wrong stem, right? But this section here, I don't need that. I'll leave this one up a little bit just so it'll make the vase look a little fuller. Cut that end off. This is a pink. A lot of sections here left over to the side. Peonies is one of my favorite flowers. They are perennial. These are blooms from herbaceous perennials, right? Herbaceous peonies. Peonies come in intersectionals, tree peonies, but these are normal herbaceous peonies. You can grow these yourself, and I have them outside growing. They're a long-lived plant. They can live for a really long time. You just have to be particular. I have a video on the channel that talks about how to plant these and grow them. You can grow these yourself year after year. They start off a little slow, but as the plant gets larger, you put this white one here, it will add in a lot more. Yep. So I'm gonna have it kind of a circle going out, and then I'm gonna put the eucalyptus and the baby's breath in the center. Snipping off the ends. Looking, make sure to leave this. This is up. So I have a lot of, you know, leafy, fleshy color here. This is green, a lot of leafy color there. So it's another pink one, gonna go opposite of the white. That's still a little tall. Make this a little shorter. You don't always have to have a lot of elements. I wanted this to be bouquet of flowers to be primarily focused on the peonies. That is what I wanted. So I only add a little bit of extra for color. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peonies in here right now. Alternating, again, pink and white. And these are gonna open up, and the blooms on these are multi-petaled. Now there are peonies that are single petaled, but these, you can see, very blousy, a lot of petals. So you actually want to give these a bit of space. Think about the space. So this is what it is now. It's going to be about that big. You know, think about the size, how it's going to double or increase in size. It'll be about that big. So you want to make sure you leave those blooms enough space. I want to get a white one in between these pinks. And there we go. You just kind of see they're going to kind of be falling out. If I had more, I could do these outer ring and then do a center ring. If I did them at 2 different heights, I could have a lower ring of blooms at this level. If I had more, I'd do those a little taller and a second ring of blooms at a slightly higher level. That I think would be really pretty. You can maybe do peonies like that and then do roses in the center. Be thoughtful of your colors. Make sure you're kind of staying within your color family here. These are really beautiful. Yes, this is white and it has pink, just blushy pink in that bloom, which I think is really, really nice. I don't know which variety of peonies these are. That's something that when you go and buy from a florist, they don't necessarily separate them by variety. So I was selecting these not by variety, but off of color. And there are a lot of really beautiful peonies. They do tend to stay predominantly pink, white, red, yellows, and kind of blushy pastel colors in there. Maureen, how you doing? So we have basically pink, white, white, pink, white, pink. So let's get another pink in between these two whites. I want to just do basically really simple alternating between pink and white. And I wish I had a few more, but I think it's okay. Sometimes it doesn't have to be very packed out. You know, if I had, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I have 10. And this one is really tight. This is one of those ones I mentioned, maybe worth dipping in water. I don't see any sap, but you can kind of see the sap on the bulb. if it's really tight and it's kind of sticky looking, those will sometimes stop the peonies from opening up, and people don't know that, and they don't dip that in warm water to loosen up that sap and help it open. So let's go in between the pinks here, and there we go. So basically it's, let me back it up so you can see, they're falling out and away. So pink, white, pink, white, pink, white, and the center is open. And in the center, I'm just gonna place the eucalyptus. I'm gonna go pretty much a triangle on the eucalyptus. So let's go one here. It's a little tall. Yeah, I don't want it to stand that high. I'm gonna take off a little bit off the bottom. It's a little tall. I'm not trying to centerpiece the eucalyptus. I just want to add some eucalyptus. If I had more peonies, I would just do, I have this outer ring of peonies. If I had 3 or 4, about 3 more, I could do a triangle in here and really beef it up on the interior. But I don't. I have the eucalyptus and just kind of get that down in there. I'm going to do a triangle with the eucalyptus. So here's one sprig of that. So this one here, I'm going to go another one right there and then another one on the other side. So I have 3 of these. Snipping the ends. Again, it's just really, it's about texture. That eucalyptus adds a lot of extra texture in there. And it just smells, these peonies are not very fragrant. There are peonies that are fragrant. These, I'm just getting just normal flower smell. Nothing special, not very fragrant. Okay, let's get this in here. There we go. It's a little tall. It's a little tall. I want to make it a little shorter, just a little bit. I don't want it to stand. I'm not trying to highlight the eucalyptus. I just want it in the center to just add a bit of color, a little color change. It's different green than the peony leaves and just kind of different shape. So it's 1, 2, and I have another. So you can do this at home if you have a florist or you have a flower shop that sells the individual pieces. In this case, I bought peonies, eucalyptus, and as I mentioned before, a bit of baby's breath. And that's all I purchased. And I bought these as separate elements and I brought them home and I said, hey, you know what? I want to put this in a vase. I know the size of my vase. And all right. And so I want to go forward on this last one. Just kind of get that in there. There we go. Make sure it's down into the water. So kind of a triangle where it's falling this way, falling that way. And in between, so to speak, the eucalyptus, almost a centerpiece, which is different. I have this sprig of, I want to take off the side shoot of baby's breath. So it's going to be in the center. It's just a different take on it. But make sure you can get that in there. I think it's going to be we'll make that a little shorter. Again, snipping off those ends, open up those capillaries, and these plants will draw up that water that's in the vase. There we go. And that's the look that I want. I have another little piece of baby's breath that's shorter. Just kind of, but I still want to try to go ahead and get this in the water. I think I can. No, so I have this piece left, and based on the way the rest of everything else looks, I don't think I can get this into the vase where to actually get into the water. So if I can't get it into the water, then I don't want to add it. I think it'll be pretty, right? But I'm just going to hold this out. I'm not going to have it. So I ended up with these pieces here left over. These will all be composted. Probably put these in a worm composter. These will be composted. But this is pretty much the final result. And I like it. I think it looks really good. Let's kind of move this paper to the side. Now this should look good for about a week. And what I always do though, be careful, because a lot of people when they go and they purchase peonies, they want to get the peonies that are in full bloom. And I like to buy them in tighter buds. Like you see, these are tight. And when I was talking to florists today, I said, hey, I want the peonies. And they had some that were already, the blooms were already open. They were blousy. Those look great and they're really wonderful. And if you have to say, I need a bouquet, I need a vase of flowers, I need it to look good for a dinner party, I need it to look good today, tonight, then get the peonies that are already open. But this is going to sit on the dining room table, and I actually want it to last longer, and I want it to look good for a longer period. For that to happen, I like to get peonies that are tighter in bloom, right? Tight buds, not opened up yet. You can see these are starting to open. Over the course of the next 24 hours, these 24 to 48 hours, right? Over the next day or two, these are going to open up, and it's going to be just this mass of beautiful peony blooms circling all the way around. It's a little, I think it's a little thin in the middle. So I wish I had a little more to go in here, and I may actually go and purchase 1 or 2 more peonies. I can go back to the shop tomorrow. I may pick 1 or 2 more up to just stick in this center, so this center is not a little open. Right now I feel as though the center is a little open, so I may go back and do that, or I may just leave it as it is. I'll see what it'll look like tomorrow. I do think that you can add and take away. So when you have a vase like this, and if one of the flowers go over before the other flowers, you can just, like, let's say this bloom, which is opened up already, this bloom right here, which is already starting to open, if it starts to drop, you can take it out. You can edit that out. You don't have to throw the whole vase of flowers away. You could just edit out those that are going over, and it'll thin out a little bit. And then over the course of days, once it gets to the point where everything's starting to go over, you throw it out, you start with some new flowers, right? But this is pretty much what we have, and I like it. I think it looks really good. It's just kind of, tell me what you think. This is pink and white, it's blushy, it's giving spring, it's giving pastel, it's giving happy. I feel as though this pink and white is very cheerful, very happy colors. And I think it'll look really great in the kitchen, on the tables is where this is going to sit. And the eucalyptus has a beautiful fragrant scent to it. The peonies are not fragrant. You could do this with peonies. You could also repeat these colors with roses. If you had some pink roses and white, of course you could always do single colors, but I like to blend the colors a little bit. I think the pink and the white, they color contrast, they go together really well. Pink and white looks good, and you can change the type of bloom. So you can have pink and white peonies, you can have pink and white roses, you can use chrysanthemums. You can really change the flower up if you like your color scheme. So a way to do this would be to think about what colors you want. I knew which colors I wanted with this, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't do a riot of colors. A lot of people, when they're thinking of making bouquets, especially picking out your sections, they would pick pink, white, yellow, blue, purple. And if that's what you want, if you want something to look like a field of wildflowers, then you can add in all those colors. But I think that it's better to edit your colors and be tight on your colors. So 1 to 2 colors, 3 at most, right? So think also your color wheel, color contrast, complementary colors. So you can look at your color wheel and go with colors that are complementary, or you can do colors that contrast. Both of those work really well. You can see some other blooms I got from Freddie Flowers I have on the channel. You can go check those out. I did some unboxings. You can see what those look like. Those were done by professionals. They were sent to me, and then I put them all together. This one I selected on my own. I think I like the colors a lot, pink and white. This is gonna last for about a week, maybe a little more, a week and a half. So drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think. This is going to go sit on the table, and we'll continue to do these. This is something that's new for me. I haven't done a lot of floral work like this before, but I'm just starting to get into it. So if you are a florist and you see this and you have some ideas for me, let me know. I do feel as though I probably could have taken off some of the leaves for these peonies, because I feel like it's a little bushy with the leaves. So I wish I'd taken off a couple stems. I'm not going to take this out and re-edit. This is for future reference. For future reference, I may take off some more leaves just so it doesn't look quite so woolly at the bottom. At the same time, you don't want it to look thin and naked. I think it looks full. And although it doesn't look really full right now, these blooms are not open. But I think as these blooms open up, fully open up, I think it's going to look really great. Just let me know what you think about it, and I will continue to do these. This is going to be a really short live. I'll go live tomorrow and do something else where I'll be doing more with the normal flowers that I have here. But I'm starting to do a lot of these bouquets. Just kind of tell me what you think about these guys, and I'll keep doing them. And until next time, take care.